All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome. Hooley House here in Menor. It is another edition of Varsity Chalk Talk. I'm your host, Bill Tilton. We are breaking down the high school football scene in the area. We've been doing it every Monday for the past 10 seasons, and we are off and running in 2018. Amazing that here we go again, and we're already into week number 2. The summer's over. We had some great week 1 games, some great wins. We have a good lineup tonight. A lot of the best teams in the area. We always have the Menor Cardinals that start us off. We also tonight have the Euclid Panthers. We have the North Rangers. Madison Blue Streaks are supposed to be coming. VASJ Vikings, Perry Pirates, South Rebels, and the Lake Catholic Cougars will be our anchor team. So hopefully we'll get you all set up for week 2. We'll go over what happened in week number 1. We have some Hooley House Players of the Week to give away this week. Some unbelievable individual performances, some great games, and a little bit of everything in between. So hopefully everybody's ready for some high school football talk. And as I said before, we always kick everything off with Menor. So Coach Triv and the guys, come on up. I know they have another engagement they need to be at on a Monday, so we want to get them in and out of here as quickly as we can. Shout out to the Hooley crew, Matt, Lisa, everybody behind the bar, in front, in the back, to my guy Mike, who's doing all the technical stuff for me tonight, so we appreciate his help. Oh, is that, you got it, Trip? Got it? All right. Just give that a test real quick.
Testing.
There we go. Perfect. All right. So first up, folks, I guess in the classic category of what do you do for an encore, the first week, the biggest game possibly in the state of Ohio was right up the street at the JTO. 2 absolute Division I heavyweights who almost assuredly will be playing deep into November, put on one heck of a football game. And the Menor Cardinals got out of the JTO with a 42-39 win. And with me, as always, to kick us off is Coach Steve Trevisano and the Cardinals. Coach, how are you, man?
Oh, we're great. Thanks for having us.
No, thanks so much for being here, and what a great first week, Coach. I mean, not just, listen, wins are wins. You've got almost 200 or whatever it is. And listen, you always want to win. You don't want to lose. I don't mean it like that. But I mean, the atmosphere, the crowd, just 2 good teams. It lived up to all the hype. I just thought it was a great night overall.
It was that. It was a great night for football. It was a beautiful night. They had that big festival going on, and you had 2 of the best programs in the state battling, and it lived up to its billing. So it was big boy football Friday night.
Absolutely. Coach, the thing that really struck me, and I think everybody else, and I don't know why, when you got bookend tackles going to the Big Ten and you got talented kids all over the field, is everybody said, geez, I didn't know they could run the ball like that. And I said, do you think they're going to drop back and throw 80 times a game? So let's just say that your running game was awfully impressive the other night.
Oh, absolutely. We were able to run the ball when we wanted and when we needed, and that was good. But it helps when you have 2 big tackles like that. You're able to follow behind. And I thought the 3 interior guys did a great job. So I was really pleased with where we did. And obviously Brian had a great night, and the young quarterback did in and held his own and did a great job.
Coach, obviously 42 points, I mean, offensively for an inexperienced group, and you said afterwards you're pretty pleased, especially when it's a sophomore QB, the junior down there at the end that we're going to get to. Defensively, I don't know that the score, obviously they got the last score with no time, and I thought you guys did some good things. That first series was kind of like, hey, we're getting used to,
Absolutely.
the lights, right? But what did you like about what you saw defensively?
Well, I liked a lot of the things we did defensively. The one problem when you get into some scrimmages, we didn't see anybody like their wideout.
Kent,
I mean, he's going to Michigan, and he can go fast. And, we had a little bit of trouble with that, and that's something we'll work on now that we've seen it a little bit more and get better at it. But, they're talented. They're a great football team, was able to do stuff. Their quarterback played great, and, I think their running back and our running back are pretty identical. So it was a great game. And, as you get into the second half of those early games, that happens a lot. It becomes a higher scoring game because people wear down.
Coach Steve Trevisano, the Menor Cardinals, joining us. We are going to get to his guys in just a second. And Coach, obviously it doesn't get any easier. And you guys schedule it that way on purpose because, I remember one of the very first times I ever interviewed you. You looked me dead in the eyes and said, "If we can't beat them in November, what's the point?" You know what I mean? You want to be ready for these teams. How impressed, because you don't know, you're a little inexperienced, but you come out of the gate, you beat a good St. Ed's team, and now you're going to go into this St. Ignatius game with a ton of confidence. So how good are you feeling about your football team
I think,
now?
And you never know going into that first game how it's going to go, but we came out and played well and played hard and did what we needed to do. So that makes things a little bit easier, and now you got to go and do it again. And that's the thing that young people got to learn is how to play week in and week out and day out. And that's why you play games like that, and that's why you schedule games like that.
Coach, I want to talk about, obviously, Ignatius and get into that football game.
Sure.
Why don't you introduce those guys you brought up?
We've got all the way on the far end is Brian Trobel, our running back, our junior running back. In the middle is Brady Bent, a senior outside linebacker, and our left tackle, Ryan Jacoby.
Start with Ryan, who, if you don't know, if you haven't read a paper in the last 8 months, Ryan is going to The Ohio State University. He is